Today's video is brought to you by Arm & Hammer. My arm and my hammer. I'm still pretty new at making these videos, and I really feel like there's so much I just don't know. Like, how do you make swinging a hammer interesting? Am I supposed to be telling you what I'm doing in the scene, or am I supposed to be telling you the story about why we're doing this in the first place? Maybe I just have to wing it like some bad man. What do you think? This is the third video of this project. I'm not real sure if I'm supposed to recap everything up to this point or assume you've already watched the first videos. So, I'm going to catch you up real quick and then we'll move right into whatever else the rest of this is. I'm building this room for my wife Eva. She's a beekeeper that raises chickens. Don't ask me why she chose those hobbies, but she did. The stuff she needs to do all that is scattered everywhere, so I'm building this room to help her get it all in one place. I wanted to share with you why I decided to build this room instead of just buying a shed. The first reason was a shed would take up more room in our yard. There would be an extra cost to run power to it. By building off the back of my shop, we didn't need any more room than that lean-to that I took down was already using. And I was able to get power right directly through the wall from the breaker box in the shop. With a shed, we would need to design the layout inside based on the dimensions of the shed. By building it, we can make it exactly the way we wanted. We also looked at the difference in cost. A comparable size bare-bones shed started around $3,000 plus tax. Add in insulation, wiring, finishing out the walls, and everything else, that would have been an additional $1,500 to $2,000. Including taxes, I was able to build this room for just under $3,000. That's a pretty big difference. I never use plans or blueprints when I'm building stuff. I like making it as I go. That does come with some challenges, especially when you're reusing materials or building to an existing structure. When I started building this room, I hadn't planned on building a deck or a ramp. I was just going to add a set of stairs. Luckily, before I started building them, I started thinking about what Eva was going to need. If she's carrying something out there, she may need a place to set it down in order to open the door, so she is going to need a deck. She also has a cart that she uses when she's working the bees, and she'll need to be able to take that in and out of this room. And that means she was going to need a ramp. So that's pretty much how I build stuff. No real plans. I just figure out what it is we need and then try to go from there. Here's something that might be fun for you. Try and see how many hiccups you can count in this short clip of me trying to lay out the stringer for these stairs. I counted enough for me to turn the board over and try again. After I finished building the deck, I ended up going back and putting another brace under the ramp. It flexed a little bit more than I intended it to. I apologize for all the time lapse in this video. It's my attempt to try to make things interesting while not taking up too much of your time. Here I'm about to start taking the old metal off the roof so we can replace it with new metal that will match the shop. The old metal came from a barn that collapsed over at our daughter's place. I took it off and brought it home and put it in a pile. I have a lot of piles like that, especially inside my shop. There's totes full of extension cords and old electrical fixtures, plastic bins full of old screws and bent nails. I'm sure if you took a look inside my shop, the term hoarding might come to mind. But I have a hard time getting rid of old stuff that maybe I can use again someday. Well, it looks like it's time to start wrapping this video up. In my last video, I said my plans for this video was to install the wiring and put up the insulation. I was so young and full of hope back then, so let's see if we can get to that in the next video. I'd also like to finish up the skirting. I really appreciate you following along, and I hope you enjoy my ramblings as I try to figure out what the heck I'm doing. I'll catch you next time on Livin Rustic.